It's on? Okay. This kid,
He always cuts it short.
he does. He thinks he's a Hollywood producer. Joe's the producer. Austin's just a best boy or gaffer or whatever you call him. I don't know. But anyway. Okay, here's the bumpers that we're doing for Mike Goolsby's Galaxie. He doesn't want to go through the chroming process right now, and also we're like, it'd be months before we got anything back. It's just ridiculous aftermarket vendors right now. So I had his bumper sandblasted. We got all the chrome plating off them. There was some evidence that these were plated at one time before, but they're pitted real heavy. So I did a lot of high build. I don't want to put filler on these. I'm going to try and block it out and see where we're at. May need to end up doing another coat of primer. But I'd like to get them painted and on the car today. So I'm going to start with 180 on a flat block. Except for the curved areas, I'll be able to do that with a soft block and see where we're at, and we'll go from there. I'll sand some and be back with you in a minute. All right, so I started sanding out the bumpers on the Galaxie. This is actually pretty good. You can see we got a little bit of metal showing. You do not want to paint directly over that metal because it's not going to stick to it. But the reason for the guide coat is, let me show you what the guide coat does. See how it stays in all the low spots? That's the whole idea behind guide coat, is so you know where the low spots are. And on this, because I haven't decided if we're going to completely reprime this or just spot prime it, it depends on when I get to the worst part of this pitting, if any of it's going to show, because we're going to paint it silver, so pretty much anything is going to show on silver. So just keep sanding. Normally I like to stop if you get to metal, and this, like I said, isn't going to matter because we've already hit it a couple of spots trying to get it down. I mean, it may be tempted to use a coarser grit paper. This is a 180 that I'm starting with, and these will be, I'll go over them with 320 and then probably 400, and then we'll put some paint on it. But you might be tempted to use a coarser grit paper because this will go a lot faster with a coarser grit paper. But then you got to overcome the scratches that you put in it with the coarser grit paper. So that's something that comes with time. A lot of times if you use too soft of a paper, say on filler, it's going to ride up over that filler. It's not going to completely make it smooth. So you need to know what grit of paper to use for what stage of the project you're on. This is something anybody can do at home. The sandblasting, maybe not. You cannot paint over chrome. I don't care what anybody says. It's not going to stick. You can grind chrome, sand chrome, whatever you want to do. If there's any of that plating still on, your paint is not going to stick to it. I've been doing this a long time. It's funny because if you paint a car and get paint on chrome or glass, it's nearly impossible to get it off. You use a razor blade or what have you, it'll come off of glass, but it really sticks to smooth glass really nice, unless you want it to. Then it won't. So, but there's the guide coat coming off. So as you can see, once we get down, there's a couple little small holes. We just keep sanding, but we just keep going until you don't see any more of them. And then you're either ready to put, you can either reprime it or something like this. I'll use an automotive spot prime, a high build. You cannot get it at O'Reilly's or AutoZone or Walmart or whatever. You have to find a paint jobber and get it from them, because it is actually automotive paint in a spray can that you can just do some small areas with. Then of course you got to sand that out when it dries. But your duplicolors and things like that, folks, I don't know about you, but anytime I've tried to do a touch-up using Duplicolor, it's not even close. So it's just not the same quality, and their quality control on color match really isn't super great either. But these, I took some silver paint I had on the shelf we've had forever. Going to look good on a car. It's silver, it's not chrome, but that's what we're doing for now. So there's your lesson on guide coat. Keep going until it's just about all gone. And this is another thing that, except in really like extreme contours and things like that, you don't want to use your fingers on. I've got this soft block here, which will, when I push my fingers down into this, that top part absorbs the extra pressure where I put my fingers, and this part here remains flat. So that's, you just want to, like I said, keep going until you don't see any more of what your guide coat color is. A lot of times I'll use, if I'm spraying the car in primer, a lot of times I'll guide coat with just some paint I have on the shelf. A lot of times you got some leftover color, that's fine, not clear, it's a base. You also don't want to use enamel for a guide coat because it's going to gum your paper up. So you want to use a contrasting color in primer or a single stage, and just extremely light. It doesn't really take much to give you a coverage of what you need for a guide coat. But I'll keep sanding. If I get to any problem areas, I'll show them to you. If all goes according to plan, these will be all smoothed out and we'll be ready to paint them, and I'll show you that then. Okay, so we got this, the rear bumper for the Galaxie is blocked out 180. We still got to do 320. A couple of really, really minor pits that I think the 320 is going to get them out. Then we got to do a little bit of spot prime, block this one out, and we'll paint some bumpers. So there you go. What was I going to say? I remember I was going to make a point about something. I don't remember.
Charity work.
Charity work, that's right. Yeah. No.
He Googled machine shop.
Oh, so he was going next door.
I
Okay.
heard the ding dong, I thought it was either him or the other ding dong.
Ding dong.
But I walked out and Josh was like, yeah, he'll help you. And then Josh ran away. Like, God dang, dude.
So yeah, the machine shop's sending us some easy work because really you need 4 holes drilled in a piece of metal. Hey, maybe he doesn't have a drill. I don't know, but we did it. So anyway, and he gave us $20 for lunch. I wasn't going to charge him nothing anyway, but whatever. Matt's doing some repair work on the. Is there a piece in there already?
I already got her in there.
Wow.
She ain't welded, but she's clamped.
Yep.
So I just getting some measurements right now.
Yeah.
And of course that ain't the right measurement.
See, this truck, we didn't need to get into doing full rockers on this truck because it really didn't need them. It just had that rust coming up off of the rear front wheels. So we'll just put a patch in there. But it's a patch made from an actual panel versus beating a bunch of sheet metal in there like somebody would do on the farm and
For a week.
the bed's shot, let's put a wood bed on it. No, it's going to look nice. So, and it actually takes longer to try and fabricate something
Yeah, it
like
does.
that
For
anyway.
the price you pay for those pieces of metal we got.
Yeah,
there,
it's for nothing. Classic Industries, the sheet metal pieces for that truck don't really cost a ton of money at all. But so that's what I'm doing. That's what he's doing. You all know what he's doing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be cleaning out the interior on that XL.
It looks like he did a pretty nice job. So now we got to put it outside and have him wash it, but not get it wet inside. He's going to have to figure out angles and things like that.
Use his brain.
Yeah. And then hopefully I'm going to get some silver on them and clear them. They can sit overnight. We can bolt them up tomorrow and it's ready to roll. I did call Mike that owns this about the power steering leak. Was able to find a company that does remanufacture a power steering pump for the car, and I've got one coming. As far as the hoses go, we may have to go up the street and have the hoses made because there's a whole bunch of different kinds. So if we just take them off and go up there, well, they'll charge me $800 for $40 worth of hose.
Yeah.
Matt's brother went to get us some fine cuisine for our repast.
What's that? Rejuvenate.
That's right. We need to eat
Calories.
stuff.
Protein.
That's right.
I don't know if you call that protein or what, but
Yeah. Well, it's. I like to call McDonald's. It's a lean meal because if you eat enough of them, you just lean when you walk. But that's it. So what we've been doing lately is wait for Austin to make his sandwiches, and then we go to a restaurant. But he did make me a sandwich the other day, and it was a pretty righteous sandwich.
yeah, he don't play around. No. He eat by 8 of them, but
Yeah, he does.
One time.
A loaf of sandwiches. But
yeah.
okay, so moving right along. That's it.
Luke, I'm your father.
Actually, all kidding aside, we're getting ready to put another coat of high build on these bumpers. They had a couple pinholes in it I wasn't really happy with, so we're going to blast a coat on there and we'll sand them tomorrow and paint them. There's that. Like I showed you yesterday, the 3M AccuSpray gun. When you take the tip back off it, the very tip of the needle and this need to be clean. That's it. You got to replace these every once in a while, but they still work fine. I've got a few of them, bought an extra box, but it makes cleanup time just immensely easier. Just run some lacquer thin through it. Boom. The tip's clean, just like that. I used just some thinner that I had there on the shelf. No need to go out. That's ready to use again. So it really is kind of a neat system. It's cheap. They've got different tips, whether you're using clear or whether you're using your base coats, primers, sealers, what have you. There's all different ones. So it's really easy. Just like that, you saw me come in here and prime a set of fenders or a set of bumpers in what, 10 minutes?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. So there you go. And that's it. Those I can block those out 320. Have 400 wet tomorrow. Put some silver on, and we can bolt them on the Galaxie and send it on down the road.
Oh, let's leave them that color.
I know.
They look good.
I know. But I got some silver. I always save whatever paint I have left over because I hate having the guys come out here for a half a pint of paint. So I'll get a whole pint, but this is the silver that they'll be. And then of course clear coated on that, they'll look great. So this is a tungsten silver. Oh, it's a Toyota color.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You gotta foreign it up a little bit for a foreign audience. That's it.
Well, that is smooth.
Smoother than a dolphin's forehead.
It's even the right color.
Boom. Austin got the inside of Mike's Galaxie all cleaned up. Like I said, it's kind of a pre-delivery thing. Some of the stuff was already in his car. We put the boot on it. Unfortunately, it looks like mice may have got at it at some point. Cleaned the dust off of it. Just ran over it again, checked for any kind of leaks or anything like that because it's a driver. It's no show car. It's a great cruise night car. Take the kids for ice cream, that kind of thing. So we put the horn button back on it, and it's ready to roll. Once those bumpers are painted and on the car, it's good. We do have a power steering leak issue. I tried to get a hold of them, but I haven't heard anything back. I did go ahead and order a pump, and we can have hoses made local right up the street here. So we can bang that out pretty quick. And get Mike back his car and get us another spot in here. We got we got news, but I'll give it to you later. We're good.